The Wonderful Lamp. One day, a kindly-looking old man knocked at the door of a poor tailor's house. His small son opened the door, and the visitor said that he was his uncle, and gave the lad a coin to buy himself a meal. Now the tailor, who was out of work, was away at the time, but later he came home and was rather surprised to find the guest calling him his brother. Still, as he seemed to be rich, he did not feel inclined to object too strongly. The newcomer spent some time with the family, spending liberally on their upkeep, but finally said that he had to leave and wanted to take the boy, Kajus, with him, so that he might learn something and so become a businessman. Of course, the tailor agreed. As soon as they had left the town, however, the man said, "I am not really your uncle at all. I need a strong lad to perform a task which I am too old to complete. I am a magician. Now, don't try to get away. You cannot." Kajus was not particularly alarmed and asked the wizard what he had to do. The man took up a stone slab from the ground and told the boy that he had to go down into the earth. "When you get to the bottom of the cave, continue along until you come to a beautiful garden, where you will find a fierce dog keeping guard. Give him this bread. Do not on any account look back if you hear any noise behind you. You will see an ancient lamp on a shelf. Take it down and bring it back to me." Then the wizard gave Kajus a ring. "If anything happens," he said, "rub the ring and wish to be saved from it." Kajus duly made his way underground, where he found all kinds of amazing things. Precious jewels hung like fruit from trees, and he picked many and filled his pockets with them. When he got back to the entrance of the cave, the old man asked him to hand up the lamp. "Not until you have pulled me up," said Kajus, fearful that he might be left behind on his own. The magician, to frighten Kajus, dropped the stone slab back into the cave's entrance. But Kajus simply rubbed his ring, and an apparition manifested itself. "Bring food for supper," cried Kajus. He also ordered his parents to be brought to him, so they all had a wonderful meal. Kajus returned to his home. Some time later, he heard that the town was to be illuminated to celebrate the wedding of the Sultan's daughter to the son of the chief minister. He had an idea. "Mother," he said, "I want to marry the princess. Take this basket of priceless jewels to the Sultan and say that we ask for his daughter in marriage." The old woman did as she was bid, and the Sultan was truly astonished when he saw that the jewels were more precious than anything which he had in his own treasury. He promised to give his answer at the end of a month. It was so arranged, however, that the princess and the minister's son were married within the week. Kajus rubbed the magic lamp and said, "Tonight, go and take away the daughter of the Sultan and place her on a mattress of straw in our outhouse." When the princess appeared on the paillasse, Kajus placed a naked sword between them in token of the purity of his intentions and lay beside her, wanting to talk. But the princess, not unnaturally, was far too afraid of him to reply. Kajus had the princess carried 3 times, one night after another, to his home, and the girl told her mother about it, unable to understand what was happening. The queen told the Sultan, and he was just as puzzled. And the minister's son complained to his father that his bride kept disappearing when night fell, and returned in some inexplicable way at dawn. Kajus sent his mother to the Sultan again, this time with 3 baskets of priceless gems, asking if he could be allowed to see the princess. "Very well," said the Sultan. "He may come to the palace." As soon as he heard that he was to be received by the royal family, Kajus rubbed his magical ring and caused magnificent robes of gold and silver to be brought, together with a beautiful horse and attendants, who walked ahead of him, strewing money and crying, Make way for Signor Cajus." The princess obtained her liberty from the minister's son, and she and Cajus were married. But the wizard, of course, heard about Cajus' successes, and he decided to get hold of the magical lamp. Dressing himself as a peddler, he stood outside Cajus' house, calling out, "Old lamps taken and new ones given for them." Cajus was not at home, and the princess sent out the ancient lamp in the hands of a servant, which the magician exchanged for a new one. Then he rubbed the lamp and caused the palace to be borne away by magic to an island somewhere in the remote seas. When Cajus arrived home, he realized what had happened, and rubbed his magical ring, which never left his finger, asking to be carried by the slave of the ring to where the palace was now located. When he got there, Cajus blew his horn outside the window of his wife, and she rushed to it to assure him that she would refuse the magician's attempts to make her his wife. Cajus advised her, "Arrange a feast tonight. Tell the magician that you will marry him only if he will tell you what thing would be deadly for him, so that you can protect him against it." Sure enough, there was such a secret, and during the feast the wizard confided it to the lady. "In a faraway forest," he said, "there is a beast called a hydra, which has 7 heads. Someone desiring my death would have to go there, find the animal, and cut off his 7 heads. When the middle head is split open, a young hare will leap forth and run away. If the hare's head is split open, a bird will fly out. If the bird is caught and split open, a precious stone will be found in his body. If that stone is placed under my pillow, I shall die." Now, of course, Cajus knew what to do. He travelled to the forest and found the hydra, which he killed. When he split its middle head, the hare jumped out. Cajus caught the hare and cut its head open. Out flew the bird. He managed to catch the bird and open it up. Inside was the stone, which Cajus hastened to take to the princess, together with a bottle of opium. In the evening, the girl slipped some of the drug into the magician's wine, and he fell into a deep sleep. As soon as the stone was placed under his pillow, he uttered 3 terrible cries, turned around 3 times, and died. Now that the awful sorcerer was dead, Cajus and his wife, by means of their magical things, had the palace returned to where it had been before, and lived happily ever afterwards.